Yahoo! Chi! And welcome back, guys. My name is Michael Turner. I am one of the co facilitators of the Gathering of the Eagles. This next gathering is happening this coming fall in 2025, September 18th through the 22nd. And Paul, I highly recommend going over to our website. There is a link to view the book written by Menno Pauls, The Gathering of the. You can download the PDF direct from the website there. But the reason I'm with you tonight is one of our co-facilitators, a gentleman who's been with us since 2022 at the first gathering at the Center of the Universe. He introduced Darlene and myself and all the other Eagles to the galactic calendar. It's a 13 moon calendar, and there are so many cycles within this that if I had an entire lifetime, I don't think that I could really understand all of them. But our dear friend, he really gets it. He really gets it. So he's going to take us to the next level at the next gathering of the Eagles, and I'm going to bring him on now so he can tell you a little bit more about himself and what he's going to be sharing with us. Welcome, Quinten. Thank you very much for joining us from the blueberry field today.
Hey, thanks for having me on this live stream. It's so good to be able to share that positive energy with the world that, hopefully I trust something here will strike a resonance in your heart. And hello to all friends out there, new and those who I've known before and this life, past lives. Great to connect with everyone. And yeah, I'm really happy to have this conversation tonight. So yes, the blueberry field in Yarrow between Chilliwack and Sumas,
Blueberry.
where the Sumas Lake used to be before they built the Vetter Canal.
A good geographical area, and I can speak from personal experience. The fruit that comes from that garden is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yep, all organic,
Yeah.
no spray.
But we're here to talk about your passion, what you're going to be sharing with us coming up at the next gathering, the 13 moon calendar. I know the cycles that you introduced Darlene and I to. We've been following very very closely, and Darlene's actually diving in a lot deeper. I'm moving in another direction with studying the Mayan chronology, at least a while ago, and I'm enjoying that. But really looking forward to kind of within this almanac that we don't quite have a handle on yet.
The galactic calendar, the 13 moon calendar, the Mayan dream spell. It's something that I've discovered after graduating high school when I was 18. And so 7 years later, I'm still studying it in depth. It's really fun. Like I got into it and 7 years ago, and I've been practicing, following it every day since. So keeping that conscious of what day we're at, and it's so much fun. So it's that contagion of enthusiasm that I'm kind of trying to spread here. Like, yeah, calendar's sweet. So there's a few reasons why it's awesome. Because it's basically like, there's a few things that I'm sure we can all agree on that are not quite right in the world, and I'm being quite humble with how I say that, because inside I'm like Aries that's like quite warrior and driven. So I'm like, there's just a few things with the Gregorian that are kind of shite, right? As my Irish friend would say. And so keeping it all kosher, it's like one of the main things is like all the months are disharmonious amount of days, and it just wreaks havoc on the mental field of the humans, in the sense that, us, the earthers, um, it's like using a tape measurer is like how you measure space in the 3D. Using a calendar is how you measure time in the 4D. And you move through space with your body in the same way you move through time with your mind. So you kind of like think about the past, project into the future. It's very mental kind of experience, in concrete kind of terms that I'm trying to convey here. So the thing is, if you use a tape measure where all the inches are different length, then whatever you build as a woodworker, you know, been born and raised in a home my dad built kind of thing and woodwork shop and all that. So I know that you want all your inches to be the same size or else whatever you build is going to be crooked and that's going to cause problems further on down the line, which is why having a calendar where all the months are different lengths, not kind of like the 13th month got chopped up and added onto all the end, that's just like gonna create a mental fog atmosphere. And it's one of the main things that is at the root cause of a lot of challenges that we face as a collective. Um, so at any time, Michael, you can jump in, but just one more point about that disharmonious Gregorian calendar, and it's a big point. It's like point the size of the Earth's rotation around the sun. It's basically 365 days, which is very close to 364, which is 13 times 28. So it's perfect for us to use a 13 moon 28-day calendar, and I'm pretty sure that just about every culture of the planet used uh, a harmonious calendar in one form or another before the introduction of the Gregorian calendar, which has not helped us live harmony and peace. So it's good to get back to that 13 moon calendar, and that's my life mission and purpose. It's also been that in past lives. Not the first time around for me teaching and preaching this. So I'm happy to have this fresh, new, young body to be like, take all that experience from my past life, distill it into a drop of intuition, and just pick up where I left off. And it's great to be able to share this gift with everyone. And I think just being a human is a great gift. And yeah, the calendar is awesome. So there's more to be said about that. And I'll continue. I don't know if you have a question, Michael. It's kind of introductory points to the
I didn't
calendar.
actually have a question because I haven't heard anything. Darlene has assured me that you have continued and you're still broadcasting, so good
Oh
on you.
my God. Okay.
Um, did you share a little about what we're going to be going through at the gathering this time around?
Yeah. Okay. I'll share what I'll be offering at the gathering this time around. Um, it's my main kind of thing is to give out a calendar, teach people how to use it, and even decode yourself, which is a great place to start with the calendar. Basically, find out what day you were born on the 13-month calendar, and then you can kind of plug in to your own unique frequency for this incarnation based off of that date of birth. So it's kind of similar to astrology. Um, and there's like some things you can find out with archetypes, tones, different chakras for different days of the week. And so I've really refined my way of teaching in the last few years since I've started presenting this information to others in like a class kind of workshop kind of format. So I've gotten that refinement going, which is good. And usually, like, I can share as much with
Yeah,
whoever
there's an
wants to
awfully
know.
lot. Not an awful lot. There is an incredible amount of content content involved in.
Yeah, there is. The idea is to make it like a globally unifying, universal, shareable wave that we can all surf on, and, uh, and that's why there's so much in it because it really does incorporate everything from all the cultures, the religions, the core teachings and the ways of life. That's part of the aim of the calendar is to make it something for everyone there. And I just happen to try to be learning as much as I can with how the cycles of time fit into all this different systems, like the I Ching, for example, how the 64 hectograms fits in daily. I know that's one Michael has a great background in, so it's really beneficial for him to follow something he's familiar with in the calendar. And in that way, it synchronizes us with nature, with our DNA's highest expression, the blueprint of divinity, of God, and that's all quite mathematical with the 13 and the 20, 13 fingers and toes, 20 main joints, the seventh being the neck or the spine joint. Then you have like six on either side going down the arms and legs with the hips and all that. So it's like our bodies are quite a divine expression of this perfect mathematical frequencies and so with the presentation, um, it'll be basics. It's kind of like a living transmission. So I'm only teaching what I've practiced and what I have embodied. And in that way, you can really get it with the morpho resonant field um, and the bio morphogenetic field. And I'll talk a bit about the earth and the organic evolution of consciousness that we're going through so that we can get like a broader vision. Um, so yeah, there will be some games. We can plug ourselves in with our date of births and find out which chakra. 7 days of the week, seven chakras. I'm born on a heart chakra, and it's Heart Chakra Day tomorrow, so I'm really excited for that every week. When that my day of the week comes around. So that's the kind of thing with following the calendar. You find out birth dates of your loved ones and your relations, and then from there, you can kind of pay attention to the synchronicities because magical things happen on your day of the week, and for other people, you know, on their day of the week. So it's just learning to view reality through this higher dimensional uh architect architecture. Yeah. Archetypes, architecture. There's quite a bit of that. And it's quite basic. Like I know Michael says it's quite complex, but like it's like take what's good to you and roll with that consistently is kind of the idea. So just following, just being aware of when we enter a new month. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. I know people watch this at different times, but it's kinda like that, just seeing what the themes are for the months, all the tones have different qualities. Everyone knows about how numerology operates with the 1 being like the undivisible unity, that primal magnetic source that attracts your goals and unifying, and 2 is like polarity of duality and opposites, yin and yang. So the calendar has a lot of that kind of, 3, the strongest, two-dimensional shape, because 2 is just kinda like a line if you're connecting dots. So 3 has that bonding, activating electric kinda service energy, and then 4, everyone knows is very stable and grounding. So, um, that's like a little bit of beginner of getting into it, and then, yeah, this it speaks for itself. The proof is in the pudding for anyone who wants to start following the calendar. It kinda is, self-revealing, and so that's a bit of what I'll be sharing at the gathering of the eagles, which will be on the equinox, very supercharged time to gather. That's the technosphere for you, which is, it's unifying humanity around the planet, which is interesting that we are able to talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time, kind of thing. And the information exchange is off the charts with how much you can learn from everyone. I've been taking advantage of the great gift, I believe. There's obviously the downsides with the technology and the electromagnetic fields maybe not being fully compatible with our biology and allowing our auras to grow our soul. But it is just a stepping stone, I think, to the next stage. You got all the spheres from the biosphere, the geosphere, the hydrosphere, the stratosphere, the atmosphere, all these spheres around the Earth, and whew, really living up to my nickname, Quinten today. Um, so the next one is the noosphere. So Pierre de Chardin, Thiel, Pierre de Teilhard de Chardin, a French individual, as well as Vernadsky, were two individuals who really um, supported and promoted the idea of the noosphere, which is like nos, Noos, or Noah. Yeah, I think that's how people pronounce it, like Noah's Ark, Noah sphere. Um, it's like Noos basically means mind in Greek language. So it's a sphere of the mind around the planet, and it's kind of where we're headed to as a species. And that is kind of like a telepathically unifying global field that everyone is a part of. And it takes discipline, natural mind meditation, that kind of practice to really get into it. But it's very organic, and it's very exciting too. I'm sure enjoying this journey that we're on, and there's two types of planets in the universe. There's like planets with no sphere and planets without, and the ones without are much more. So it takes a self-reflective, intelligent species to kind of become one with the earth, and the earth becomes one with the mind of humanity. And that is facilitated as well through the Rainbow Bridge meditation, and that is like visualized as like a torus field around your body and a torus field around the earth. And then you can also visualize humanity, our brothers and sisters, earthers, doing it alongside us. And that's really embedding into the larger fractal field. And so that's kind of part of the activation of the noosphere. And I just have a might have a low battery on my phone, so I don't know if it's gonna check that. Yeah, 1%. So I'll kind of